for Around the Ecomi Verse. Get pumped up. Get excited. Here we go.
Yo, 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 welcome to Around the Comiverse, episode 77. We got Cool Mo, Real Randy Chavez, and Crypto Rain for us today. How are you all going today, guys?
Amazing.
Well, doing well.
Yeah, before we
Very
start,
well.
what was that, Randy?
Yeah, very well. Yeah, doing all right.
How's Dashi? How's Dashi doing?
Dash is doing well. Dash is hanging out. We talked about getting Dashy a new hat, a new collar. Let me go chuck this gold and silver VeVe logo on the Dashy, the hat, and then because I get my number 41 hat in San Diego, so I can give Dashy that one permanently.
Nice. You finally get that one back. It was captured from you.
It was taken from me.
Kidnapped.
I'm just gonna. You know what I didn't do? I didn't tweet this out today, so I'm gonna drop in a few groups.
You didn't tweet it out.
No, I was busy trying to do a Solana transaction, and Solana is just not having it today. Not doing anything at all.
Is it is the network down again?
It just says congested, but it hasn't done anything. It's just spinning like a spinning circle.
Oh,
You
so
know, come on,
everyone's trying
Solana. We're not even in a peak time. They need to pick up their game if they're gonna
Is it
really
the
make it in
Haktua girl?
the bull run.
That
Oh,
Haktua meme coin is on Solana, so maybe people are just going crazy with that.
Oh, is it? There's a
Yeah.
few, right? There's a few of them going around. I thought
I'm
it died
sure.
off. Did it come back again? Did it?
I'm sure that I don't know anything about it. I just heard it that at least one of them was on Solana.
It looks really funny.
Baku forever.
Yeah, one of the guys in our group made like $3,000-$4,000 from it. So something.
Awesome.
That's profit, by the way. They actually took profit out, which is good. I think they hit about 9,000 or 10,000, but they only took out 3,000-4,000. It's hard to catch the top with meme coins.
Yeah.
They're crazy. Rain, we were just saying before we started, your backdrop looks amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So is that real or is that like rendered?
Yes.
I like it.
Yeah,
You've got like the Barney Stinson thing going where you never know what's happening. I love it. Have you guys seen How I Met Your Mother?
On TikTok,
No.
I've seen like clips.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I haven't seen the show, but I
It
know
is
what it's
really
about.
fun. It is really fun. It's basically like a couple. It's sort of a group of guys. It's sort of like it's like a new age version of Friends, really, with a little bit more on the dating side. And like one of the guys is like a pickup artist, and he just does the funniest stuff. Like he's always like challenge accepted, and he's trying to pick up girls, like wearing weird things and like in a scuba suit one time, and dressing as like an old man, and just all these different challenges and stuff. And it's a lot of fun. And it just sort of shows like I didn't get it much when I first watched it when I was in my early 20s, but being in my 30s watching it, it's a lot more relatable. And as they get older, he's one of the guys is always trying to get like trying to get the wife. And it's a really funny show. And the premise is that it's called How I Met Your Mother because it's got like this undertone of this guy who's talking to his kids, telling them how he met their mother. By telling them he's going through all the many stories of like, 10 years, 20 years of dating basically. But it's a very funny show. It's very silly. Let's see. I know, Kumo, you said you wanted to chat about VeVe today.
Yeah. I said on Telegram today that, I wanted, of course, OMI to NFT and everything else that comes in, but I'm really looking for the VeVe verse. I'd like to, like I said on Telegram, I'd like to get that for Christmas. And what I really want is either spatial or the Unreal Engine, native for my Apple Vision Pro to where I can go in there. That's when I really think I'm going to start building as well. And quite frankly, I'm very interested in seeing what kind of AI features are going to be in the VeVe verse. So,
yeah, I was just thinking today, the longer that it takes to come out, like every month there's like better AI.
Yeah.
It is crazy. They're gonna have some really good AI in there just because it's now available. Like it's getting better and better. Have you guys played with ChatGPT 4.0?
Yeah, it's very good.
No.
It's
There's
yes.
I use it every day.
There's an AI now that is at it's you use it to prompt your AI. So you go in and you have like the AI tech and you use it to prompt, because like a lot of people don't know. It's like Google Foo. It's like, hey, I want to know this question, but you have to word it in a way that Google like understands it. So they have that with AI now. So a lot of people are kind of lost. So now they have an AI prompt that'll say like, hey, I want to ask AI this, and it does that. And I think that eventually you're going to have an AI prompt for the AI prompt for the AI. It's really wild.
So what it is like there's going to be an AI assistant, right? It's going to be, you can just talk to it like a normal human, and it'll do the harder prompts for you. So it's sort of like what you're doing, what you're talking about, but you'll probably be able to talk to it more rather than just having to type. So it'll be more like a friend. You say, hey, I want to know this, and then it's going to give you a really good prompt, and then you can get a more advanced answer. And have you guys, I know, Kumo, you're probably more into this than Randy and Rain, but Apple are working on a new computer that has a built-in compute for AI. Have you guys heard that, Rain and Randy?
Apple Intelligence, right?
Has
Yes.
a built-in what for AI?
So there's a GPU for graphics processing, there's a CPU for computer processing, and now there's a I'm not sure what they call it, but it's
And NPU for neural processing unit for the AI.
So now your computer will have 3 computing processors instead of just 2. It's pretty nuts. So a lot of the good thing of that is a lot of it is done on your system locally. So it's not going to a cloud. People aren't getting all your information. And if the prompt you give it is too difficult, instead of using your NPU, your neural processing unit, it'll go to the cloud if it needs to. If that makes sense. So if it realizes this is too hard to do it by itself, it'll go to the cloud.
Apple's going to have its own AI on system, and then it's going to do the majority of everything. But if it needs to go out, it will hit ChatGPT 4.0.
Yes.
So,
yeah. And it'll tell you, right? I think it tells you what it's doing.
Yeah, it's going to tell you. But going back to what Randy said, that's basically what AI agents are. So you might have an AI agent to watch your stocks. You may have an AI agent to watch your crypto, and you determine what you want that to do or not to do, and then eventually what's going to happen is you're probably going to have an AI that's going to manage those AIs and check in with you just to keep you updated on what's going on with the other AI agents. And eventually that'll lead into what is called AGI.
Interesting.
Yeah. So there's going to be a leveling up of this, and kind of giving you some words in your vernacular. One of them would be compute. That you're going to hear this word a lot. As a matter of fact, can anybody tell me who what the most valuable company in the world is right now?
NVIDIA?
Was NVIDIA, but they stepped back, I think.
Yeah, but NVIDIA has shot up from last year, and all what they are doing is they're producing all these AI processors. In other words, they're providing compute for these machines. This is all they need, and so it's going to be 2 big things: energy to power all this stuff, and compute. So that would be.
Wes, AI is not a fad as much as we think.
Oh no, I promise you.
Wes might be joking about that. And like AI crypto he's not 100% wrong on the AI crypto projects and that they're a fad. Like a lot of these AI projects, they really don't have AI behind them. They're just a money grab.
Yep.
There's a few of them that are legitimate. But what does AI and crypto really have to do with each other other than using a way to pay people to use their processing unit so that you can get access to more computing power than what your computer has? Crypto could come in to do that, but most AI crypto projects, they throw in there, we're using artificial intelligence and blah, 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 blah. Yeah. They're money grabs. Because they can raise $3 million with that name in it, they probably won't ever succeed. Maybe their token goes up in the bull run as everything goes up, but there's no real substance behind it. And an undoxed team, they're total scam. Well, they're not quite scams. They're just almost scams.
I'd say like 90% of them, right? There's
Yeah.
a few that are really good. There's a few
Yeah.
big ones.
So if
But
I see
actually-
AI in the name, I look way closer. Like that's a massive red flag because what does AI and blockchain have to do together? Except for when you're talking about like Singularity Net and a few other projects, then it's like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, that's
Yeah,
legit.
Rain is it Singularity Net and Fetch AI and a few others? They're combining together, right? Later this year.
Yeah, and AI and blockchain don't have tons to do with each other right now, but it gives people a place to throw money at AI because there's an appetite for investing in AI. So a lot of people that are new to crypto, they just invest in narratives and they don't do much research on stuff. And people who are launching these AI projects know that. A lot have been in the crypto space for a while. A lot of them have launched unsuccessful projects before, and they're just launching another project that they know is not going to be successful. But in the meantime, they'll raise $4 million and they'll waste $3.5 million on that, on buying boats and other things, and maybe spend $500,000 to develop something that won't go anywhere.
Hey, Randy, did you hear that David Yu said that we're going to have AI in the VeVe-verse?
I actually asked that question. I didn't. Well, let me back up. Like a week before Binance interviewed him, there was a post on Facebook saying like, "Hey, give us all your questions," and I obviously unloaded on them, just asking like 20 questions, and that was one of the ones that they took. And so when he answered that, I was like, "Oh yes, that was one. That was a great question." Pat myself on the back, and then two, I was like, "I don't know 100% what it's going to mean because obviously what he wants and what he is dreaming of, there's probably going to be a variation of that." But yeah, I'm very excited to see what that entails. And we might not get that particular version of the VeVe-verse, for several months, if not a year or two.
Right.
But that will come eventually. Also, my room is really dark.
I'll tell you this: if they can get Marvel to basically, let's say you've got, and I talked about this today, and let's say you got Deadpool, and if you could have AI connected to Deadpool, and then he knows all the comics and all the stories and everything that go within his character and the basically Marvel universe. I mean, you could have a conversation with Deadpool.
Yeah, so that gets really hard for AI now, I think, because even though AI can do incredibly creative things, like ask it to write a story involving like the hero's journey, and it could write the next big blockbuster. But if you ask it like, "Hey, show me photos of the Pidgeotto haircut," like I don't know if they're gonna know what that means. Like I don't know if it's gonna know like the certain pop culture references that are very, very niche, which is what Deadpool likes to make a lot.
Right.
I mean, so having something like Vision, who is an AI, that would make perfect sense. And most of the other characters, I think, just different. But that's just me.
Yeah, because that's something I'd love to see in the VeVe-verse if we could have that kind of option as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'd really like to create some classrooms and stuff within my space, and teach whatever the community wants. Using AI, using live, people come in and talk about various topics that they're experts in and stuff. So that's something that I'd like to. That's just a kind of a pipe dream, but just like everything else, I just don't know what's coming. So it's kind of hard to prepare, especially in the AI realm, for if you don't really know what's coming. So
it'll help with people's loneliness and boredom, and
sure will.
I'm here for it.
Yeah, did you see the comment by Big A? Yeah, that was interesting. Arcade had an amazing idea. I mean, the other day we were talking about ideas of what VeVe could do that would get some traction. This is one of the better ideas. It's a better idea than anything I came up with.
Yeah, I'll actually keep that up there. Let me take a picture of that. I'll go over it in my next.
Yep.
Yeah, sorry, Pam.
He's back. He's back.
Oh, why is my camera doing that?
I'm still trying to execute this.
That's
Solana
the beauty
trade,
of a good community, having lots of minds think of creative ideas. You get some people come up with some really good ideas.
You
Yeah,
can give away codes.
That's a fun one, right? So yeah, give content creators like 10 codes for like a 300 mint drop or something spread across 30 creators. And
if VeVe's listening, I would like some codes. That would be cool.
Right.
Because they have the ability to make those codes where you have at Marvel, I'm sorry, at San Diego or New York Comic Con, they'll give away codes for like, hey, here's a code for today's drop, and that drop could have been. It started, I think, in 2022 with the Deadpool Chimichanga truck, that Mighty, and then they've done it for things other than Mighties, but still obviously just in that Marvel realm. So they have the ability to do that. I don't know what it would take for them to do that. I mean, that would be what do we give away, like 100 each, and there's 30 of them, and 3,000 out of how many characters? Just that might be a lot.
100 each would be a lot to try to give away, right? 10 to 20 is a more manageable number.
That'd be super scarce.
Yeah, it would be super scarce, and that's what's kind of fun about it. Is it kind of their cost to them is just some art design, but like that's a really good idea.
Yeah, I mean, it could be they already kind of did this with, but I guess they could do it again with Invisible Woman. They just had the stand, and the Invisible Woman wasn't even there. You could make it so that all of these characters now have a variant, and it's Invisible Woman hiding that particular thing. So it actually doesn't need an art design. It'd be like, oh, it's Invisible Deadpool from the
and like the Emperor's clothes. This is the Emperor's new jacket. Well, you can't see it because it's made of invisible thread, but it's there.
But you got a mint number.
Trust us.
Yeah.
It has a mint number.
I love stuff like that because you have. I don't know if anyone's ever seen those like glow in the dark tattoos, or that get tattoos with invisible ink, and then when they go into a club with a bunch of black lights, the tattoo
fun.
show.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So what would that be like, Randy? So you've got a tattoo that is only visible with a UV light, basically.
Yeah, I don't have that, but I've seen others have that, and it's like awesome.
So you can have clear looking skin, but you can have a tattoo there. That's pretty cool for business people.
Like it'll just be like something over here, and you don't see it, but then you shine a black light on it, and then it appears. And
or you could have the Snake Plissken tattoo from Escape from New York.
Where?
Okay,
I don't remember what his tattoo was.
I don't know.
It was a cobra coming out of his crotch.
Man, Solana is not doing.
Nobody remember that?
What year was that movie made?
Dude, that
was back in the
early
80s.
It's
early
a
80s.
classic, though. Kurt Russell.
Yeah, like that was like the coolest movie for a while. When I was a kid, I was like, "Oh, it's so cool."
I love 80s movies. I don't know why I don't know that.
Yo, Ellsman.
You missed that era by a little bit. I've got about 10 years.
I was going to do a shout out for Mr. MC1. He did all those like rewards and all those gold VeVe logo and stuff for everybody. It's really awesome. I think Ozman got one of them. Is that right? Ozman collects. It was really, really awesome.
And then Clarissa and O'Milly.
Yeah. And O'Milly's done what, like 800 podcasts or something? Or spaces?
All of those spaces. He's probably done more spaces than anyone else in the community combined.
Yeah. I mean, 800 is a lot, right? We're coming up to, this is episode 77 of Around the Comiverse. We do it once a week. So he must be going 2 or 3 times a week or something.
Yeah.
He goes like every day.
Tons.
Because he didn't do any spaces in the bull market. He only started in the bear market because he's like, just FUD spaces out. And he wanted, so he only started like 2 years ago. And that 2.5 years ago. And that tracks, if you do one a day, that's like 700-ish. So sometimes he does 2 a day.
Unbelievable.
Funny.
Yeah. It's insane.
Sanjay is asking me about my OMI position. How do our rules? It's funny because, he's been picking up a lot. I actually haven't sold much at all this year. I just haven't had much this year. I sold a lot last year. But I was thinking of picking up more if it stays low. We'll see. Should we talk about speculation with those exchanges all showing the Goku and it was Vegeta and
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. I think I saw Thanos. What's going on with all that? Should we talk about speculation or should we leave it? I know some people said speculation is bad because we've been speculating for years and nothing's happened, but that doesn't mean that the future nothing will happen.
Sorry about that. I was frozen.
Randy, we know that the real Randy Chavez is like died in your AI, so it's okay. You'll freeze. the processing power
The
goes
real
up.
Randy Chavez.
Yeah.
Thank you for the roses.
Randy is Optimus.
They did that. There's people that do that on TikTok where they pretend to be AI and like, thank you for the roses. It's really, I get like weird uncanny valley vibes. But yeah, we could get the
OMI up today?
speculation.
Yes.
Yes.
About
Nice.
So speculation. I mean, we're pretty sure we have almost
Sanjay.
everything on as far as anime manga is concerned. So Dragon Ball Z, what Crypto.com and HTX have been posting, that does make some poetic sense that it is a hint to us. I don't know if exchanges would really do that though, just because they don't need to. Maybe there was a clause in a contract that maybe we had with HTX. They're like, hey, if you win this, we'll obviously list for free. And if you don't, then we'll list you anyway. You're just going to have to pay, whatever that is. And then Crypto.com, maybe they're like, hey, once you figure out what you're doing with HTX, then you come on us. I don't know which one is, if any of those scenarios are true. Again, we're just speculating here. I think Crypto.com would be better just because Americans can use it. And HTX, even though it's huge, just doesn't really help Americans. That's just kind of my take on it, just my theories.
I agree.
Yeah, it'd be great to get it on an easy to use exchange that the US has access to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, if we get HTX and we get Crypto.com, that would be amazing. So what was that, Kumo?
It would just, the average investor would, buy it a lot easier and a lot better on Crypto.com. I mean, not everybody knows how to use Base. So,
I mean, that's what we need, right? We just need one really good, solid exchange for US. That would really help.
Entry here.
I would love to be able to tell me when people ask me when they find out what I do, and they always say like, give me 3 tokens I can buy. And it's like, how much do you know about crypto? And they're like, not very much. And I'm like, I know they couldn't get a MetaMask wallet and everything. So I have to tell them something that's on Coinbase because it's easy. So when OMI's on Coinbase, like at these prices, I would love to tell them OMI. I'm not going to try to walk them through how to get a MetaMask wallet and all that and spend 2 weeks of my time.
We've all done that. We've all been there, and it doesn't work out well.
So I'm like Coinbase and get these. That's what I would do if I were brand new. Yet knowing what I know, that's what I'd be buying. You make your own choice.
And you'd get the text. How come this is taking so long on Bet4X?
Yeah.
It's been 15 minutes.
Yeah, that was wild. Then you had to wait for it to settle. You couldn't send it right away.
Man, so this whole show, what are we at? 22 minutes. I've been trying to do a Solana transaction, just one. Hasn't gone through.
So remember, like that's a good lesson about the crypto space. Do you remember when everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, Solana's gonna flip ETH, Solana's gonna flip Bitcoin," and all the narrative was like Solana, and I said,
you broke it. You broke it, Rain.
Are you buying? How much Solana are you buying? I was like, I don't buy anything that has been running straight up, and I'd be concerned because everyone in the crypto space saying Solana. That's time to get really, really concerned. I was like, I don't know that this is the top, but I'm very concerned that it's a local top and then it's going to have a severe pullback. End up being right near that top. And my only warning was like everyone saying Solana, it's the best ever. It's going to flip ETH. When you hear that kind of stuff, know that everyone's jumping on that bandwagon and the rug's about to be pulled under them. And so like I learned in crypto my first 2 years, like doing that, I always got wrecked in the short term. Now, will Solana go higher than this later? Yeah, but it's going to do a really big pullback in the meantime. And so like people were selling things that were down to buy Solana. And now what was down, is more down, but Solana is massively down. And so and probably won't run before the other stuff that they were selling runs. And so they didn't get ahead. They actually got behind by trying to take that trade because they were just jumping on the bandwagon, assuming that what has been going up is what's going to continue to go up. And crypto doesn't work that way.
Well, Rain, it was literally one of the streams we do with you, and you're like, Solana's going to go down, and literally that week it just dropped. I'm like, Rain cursed it.
Yeah, and the clue is like what my mentor said when he was buying real estate. He goes in to get his haircut in a real estate market, and he asks like general sentiment, and they're like, real estate's the best ever. He gets worried, and people are like, my girlfriend has 4 homes and this, and everyone's buying it, everyone's making money. that should be very concerning to you. If he goes in there and he's like, they're like, oh, real estate is terrible, it's horrible, everyone's losing money on real estate. Well, then he extends his stay, and he would then stay like a month, and he would find some specific targeted things to acquire. That's the type of market that you buy in. And when it's crazy like that, that's when you sell. And so your clue is that everyone in the crypto space talking about Solana, it is not time to buy. It might not be time to sell everything, but it might be time to take a bunch of profits off the table.
Well, it's not only looking at the charts, but it's reading the narrative and trying to, judge everything, looking at the narrative and how strong or weak it is.
I was just say you talked about real estate, and I was just gonna say I sold my house, guys. Sold.
Nice.
Gone. Now, should I put it all in OMI or Bitcoin or?
Oh, God.
If I put it all in OMI, imagine the comments I'll get.
Dude, the green candle would be huge. Well, how much you putting in?
I think clean and clear, I'm gonna get about 120,000 Australian dollars.
That would be a god candle.
80,000 USD or something.
That'd be a major god candle. That would take us to 0015 unless you have some massive sell.
I'll do OTC. We won't move anything. We'll keep it low.
That's fine. If you find anyone that can do an OTC deal for 6 figures, let me know.
Yeah, Randy, I saw that recently. There was some people that were selling like a ton of OMI, right? And you're like trying to get an OTC deal going. And they're like, no, we'll just sell on the market. I'm like, why?
Oh my God. Yeah. I don't know who that was. But I was like, dude, like that was ridiculous. At time, like there's so little liquidity down here that we have less than 500,000 over the last 24 hours in volume. So putting 20-something% of that in one transaction, yeah, that'll create a god candle. It might just wick there and come back down, but you're going to see a massive, massive green candle. And again, I could come back down. I'm just telling you how it works.
Man, I cannot get a transaction to go through Solana right now. It's half an hour. I'm giving up on it. I'm letting it go.
Everyone comment F down below to pay respects to Solana.
But the thing is, it's not bull time, right? The transactions are going to go 100 times more than this during the when the market recovers. It's. Did you guys see the price of Bitcoin? I'm loving this because I'm settling in like 30 days, and I'm going to get access to a bunch of money, get some cheap Bitcoin, guys. Let's go.
Do you think Bitcoin will still be at 60,000 in 30 days?
Hopefully,
I don't know.
But I don't know.
It moves quickly. It moves quickly, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably where the action will happen first when the market starts to rebound is Bitcoin.
Yeah,
Rain, I've been kind of seeing where the feds are talking about a interest cut in September. Are you seeing that on your end?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're probably going to do it pretty aggressively coming up. I know they've been positioning that they're not going to, but they are. They always do, and they've delayed it more this time than they ever have in a presidential cycle that I can remember. But at some point they have to hit it, and there's multiple reasons for it. Raoul Pal talks a lot about it, and he talks about the 4-year refinance cycle, that a lot of this business debt needs to get refinanced, and a lot of the other debt, like government debt, needs to get refinanced. So every 4 years, they bring it down so they can refinance that debt. Anyway, Raoul knows more about that specifically than I do, but his argument makes tons of sense. That they have to not only to juice up the economy for whatever president's running, but since they started things under Obama, the way they made interest rates so cheap is so many businesses borrowed at near 0%. And if you make all those businesses refi at like 5 or 6%, it's going to crush all these businesses. So if they refinance at 2%, that's not that bad, but like they've got to start bringing the interest rates down pretty soon. There's too much pressure on them. It's not like they can't not lower them, but there's so much pressure on them, not just from the government, but also from other market participants with
like commercial real estate.
Yeah.
It's a big one.
I think there was a lot of attention is being brought on it now because Trump said a few days ago that I think the Winklevoss twins donated $1 million each to him in Bitcoin. And Trump's like, yeah, I'm going to make America like the largest mining country. Like all of crypto is going to be done majorly in America. And I think there's there's a rumor that if he were to do either some quantitative easing or just make the printers at the Fed go burr and run it, he might take like 1% of that and make it like print to buy or print to mint Bitcoin. So taking that and buying Bitcoin, I think that would be massive. Now, I don't know if that's actually going to happen or not. But I think if the Dems want to win, they'll have to either, which I think they'll likely do. I think the debate's going to be this week. When he gets crushed, they'll probably swap Biden out. And then they'll swap him out, I think, for either Michelle Obama or Gavin Newsom. I don't think it matters, but if they come in and the new nominee says like, "Hey, we're going to be such majorly pro crypto," and they have like this plan, maybe that could take some votes away. People that are on the fence. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know much about the other person, but Gavin Newsom, like, would I trust him to deliver on what he says? Not really. Not really. Don't make America California again. That's for sure.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, I think that'll be really nice.
Aura didn't work. The Aura exchange for Solana. I used Jupiter and it went through straight away. So use Jupiter, guys, if you're going to do anything in Solana. So that took 31 minutes to work out. So, but I used to use Aura all the time. It worked well.
I've never really done anything on Solana, so you're kind of speaking another language to me.
Yeah, the thing is, Randy, I don't do much on Solana. Like, I've only got like a few tokens. I mostly use Ethereum, Base. I like to use, obviously, big exchanges are great because you don't have to deal with any of the other tricky stuff. Yeah, man, there's a lot of comments here. What do you guys think? Do you think Trump's going to win?
Yeah, I think last time he had it makes sense. I don't think it mattered what happened. I mean, the convicted felon thing, everyone's getting those shirts saying like, yes, I'm voting for convicted felon. And I think last time when Trump was president, crypto was still too taboo and maybe just didn't want to touch it. And now that it's X amount of years later, he's like, okay, I actually see what's going on. And he probably has an advisor saying like, hey, here's what crypto has done. Here's what it can do. Here's why we should get behind these and not these. And 50 million Americans have crypto, so probably a good idea to come out in support. So yeah, it makes sense that he'll likely win.
In 2017, like, Bitcoin and crypto was the redheaded stepchild. The biggest influencer in crypto at the time was John McAfee. Like, but there was like no bigger person in crypto there, other than the Winklevoss twins, and like, but then there were nobody was in crypto back then. So Trump was completely uneducated on it back then, and he wasn't necessarily pro crypto. Do I believe him about his statements coming up, like they'll be pro crypto? I think so, because I think he has some advisors that understand it. I don't think he does understand it. But I don't think he's anti-crypto, which is what we've seen from the current White House. It's not only the problem is Gary Gensler does understand crypto, and he's gotten very anti-crypto orders. So he's used that knowledge to be very targeted towards trying to hurt crypto. And all they're doing is slowing it down some and pushing development outside the U.S. So if Trump came in and made U.S. very pro-crypto friendly, imagine you're in the U.S. and you can get on any exchange and you don't have to worry about it. And there's not all these complicated hoops. Imagine that you could participate in pre-sales. Imagine you could participate in IDOs and, initial exchange offerings. Wouldn't that be amazing? Because right now, if you're in the U.S., you're like the redheaded stepchild. You might have money, but everything's made so difficult for you to invest, and that's just because all the crypto companies are scared of the SEC.
I mean, the good thing about this, and you can see from the comments that everyone's sort of going pro crypto because they want those votes. So it's actually really good for the crypto community in general. That hopefully Biden understands, or like he's not Biden, because I don't think he understands anything, but the people that run him get him to go pro crypto. That'd be great.
Well, I think we could see the start of the bull run, if not before the interest rate cuts, definitely during the interest rate cuts. And then depending on how the election goes, that's going to have a huge impact upon it. Maybe not a huge impact, but it's definitely going to have an impact one way or another, I think, on that. But This debate Thursday, wow. I mean, this may be one of the most watched things that's ever been on TV.
Yeah. Where are they doing it? Is it, or like what channel is that going to be on?
CNN.
Okay. Where are they having the debate?
I'm not sure about that.
I will. Yeah. All right.
I think Philadelphia. I think.
Cool. Well, we shall see. I'm pumped for it. I like when people get like drunk and watch it and they live tweet like all their reactions to everything. Those are fun.
For every word that's said. Sleepy Joe, take a drink.
I think my favorite part of any presidential debate, I think it was a Republican candidate debate. Herman Cain had quoted the words in a Pokemon song, and that will probably be my forever favorite moment.
Herman Cain quoting Pokemon. That's
it.
Whoa.
Oh,
What's
we're losing
happening there,
Randy's
Randy?
sound.
Skipping out.
Randy's being rugged. You guys probably don't watch my my Chuck's Crypto Roundhouse, but my power went out at the very start of the show, so I got rugged for the first 10 minutes, and lucky the guys that were in there just kept the show going because it's the power was a bit funny here, but I fixed it myself.
Oh, nice.
We're having a great day today. The rap songs they make afterwards are the best.
Yeah, like what is that? Jib Jab? Freaking hilarious.
Jib Jab, yeah.
Love Jib Jab. I haven't seen Jib Jab in ages.
Me either. But that stuff is like good humor, right? And equally knocks each candidate, which I appreciate.
So what do you guys think the burn's going to be for OMI when OMI the NFT comes out, or if there is going to be a burn?
2%.
Sounds like there is going to be one. I don't know what's going to add up. I know in the early days, like 2018, their pre-sale, the burn seemed like such a good idea. And I was really sold on this idea of token burns make all the difference. I've since changed my mind on that. And they make a little bit of a difference. It's a little bit of a story that people can wrap their mind around. But I've seen things go 200x. I've seen things go 1,000x with no token burns whatsoever. What's more important is that the underlying business gets tons of publicity and traction, and everyone's like, oh, they're the greatest. If they happen to have burns on top of that, cool.
Crypto loves deflationary coins mostly.
I think if they're going to have burns, they're going to have to do it from the buyer side, because if you have somebody selling a Disney or Marvel item or 007, James Bond, whatever it is, and you already have 8.5% sell fees, and then to tack them on with more, that's a lot. So having something, if you have a 2% burn and suddenly you have 10.5%, so like that just seems like a lot. I don't know how they would do it. I would, if it's a super small amount, but they're going to have to give people a reason to not only list it. I guess one of the reasons would be transferring OMI from your account to an exchange is relatively inexpensive. So it's going to be likely the sellers that are going to ask for OMI as opposed to gems. Because if you go to cash out gems, it's another 10%, which is, that sucks. So that would be my guess. It would have to come from the buyers, like a tax to the buyers or something like that.
Interesting. So we know there's going to be burns. We know there's going to be OMI to NFT, and we know there's going to be VeVe. What's all the Fortnite connections? Can we have some speculation there? Randy, Rain, Kumo. Oh, Kumo. He knows.
Yeah. Well, we recently had Elon X send out a tweet that they were going to be doing some stuff with Fortnite, and Elon X is a Web3 company, so that could mean some interoperability for them. But I did see, I think it was David Yu reposted that about Elon X today, and if Fortnite comes out and that uses VeVe NFTs, that could be a boom. I mean, why do we have all these Thor hammers as an example? I mean, they can be displayed, but can they also be used maybe in Fortnite? I just can't wait for D23. We might get some answers at D23 because I know VeVe's going to be there. Disney may give us another sneak peek at the Disneyverse, which obviously VeVe's going to have to be somewhat connected with, I would think.
Interesting.
The Elmon X, I know they have a bunch of those. I think they had the Van Gogh ones, right?
Yeah.
So they have some pretty cool pieces, and they have, I think, a decent following. But if they can get something with Fortnite, there should be no reason why we can't get something with them. And again, I think because of that cavernous connection, it's likely to be interoperable. Maybe not at the start. Maybe they'll have like a certain button they'd have to push. Like, okay, let's have them both separate at first, because I mean, to have something like this major metaverse come out and there be no bugs is probably a little bit unrealistic. Right. So once they figure out what the bugs are and everything, and then they roll out, obviously separately, they could go in and say like, okay, now we can make this bridge or press this button, and now they can be, you can swap out your NFTs. If you have an NFT, you get a skin in Fortnite, and if you have you can import anything into the VeVeverse. So if whatever you have in Fortnite, you can maybe import into VeVe, and then somehow there'll be a clear distinction. All right, this is the Thanos skin from Fortnite, and here's the Thanos from VeVe, and it'll have maybe like a mint number next to it or something. And the ones that don't have a mint number next to it will just be like a random skin that's unlimited. That would be my guess. Maybe they could do something cool, if anyone's ever been to Harry Potter World, to get from Diagon Alley to Hogsmeade. You take platform 9 3/4, you take the train, and on that train they have little animations there, and it's cool. Yeah. I think that if they were to do something like that, maybe they have a cut scene where you go from one metaverse, go into a portal, and then you go to another, and you take your stuff in there, and there's a cut scene. I think that'd be really cool. And they'd have different cut scenes for different collectibles. Maybe they wouldn't spend too much time on that because that might be a little too extra. But I think that's kind of my scenario, and hopefully that happens in the next year.
You know, what's interesting is Universal Studios. I live here in Orlando, and Universal Studios is building the Epic Universe. And when you first walk in, now I have not been there. They haven't opened it yet, but there's a lot of publicity down here for it. You go to a certain central area, and then there's portals taking you to all these different areas. I mean, that could be something exactly what we could see, possibly in the Disneyverse or so.
Yeah. Before I get to that, Rain, what were your thoughts?
What's the question specifically?
Jordan was just asking about Fortnite connections and if any speculation on that.
Big A has a good question. Like, what would be the motivation for Fortnite to do that when they already have the same licenses directly? And
cross-pollination.
And the truth is, it seems like there's some correlation there, but I can't understand what the relationship is, because Big A makes a good point. Like, that's what I've been thinking. Like, how does that work? And maybe there's a way that it all comes together. It seems kind of messy at this point in my head for it to fit nicely together. And what would be the incentives for Epic Games and Fortnite and Disney and stuff to really tie into VeVe? Maybe because VeVe has a community and one of the better like digital collectibles, like maybe there is something there. And then Fortnite can sell the things through the marketplace. And I think what Fortnite would love to do is make money as their things resell. I think they would love that. I mean, that's one of the greatest ideas ever, is being able to make money every time something you sold once then changes hands again.
Yeah.
So maybe that's of interest to them because of that. And then they could host the marketplace on maybe VeVe's marketplace. But is VeVe big enough to be interesting enough for Epic Games to do something like that? I don't know. I question whether it feels like they're big enough. Although David Yu has made some really good strategic partnerships, so maybe there's something there.
I'm positive there's going to be interest. I mean, here's how I know Pokemon will go on the blockchain. I know people at Pokemon that are obsessed with the secondary markets of the cards and how they sell for hundreds of thousands. Like,
did you say Pokemon? Pikachu!
Yeah. The teases for that are, I do think it's like a 65-35% chance that we will get Pokemon eventually. A lot of people are speculating that soon, but anyway, from all of these things, it would make sense that point you brought up, having them get money every time a skin or whatever is transacted. And I think, what's the worst case scenario for Fortnite and Epic to do this? Like, worst case scenario is they don't make as much money as they think. Worst case scenario is just that the cross-pollination leads to only a certain amount of sales when they were expecting a large amount. Either way, it'd be a new line item number. And I mean, they just got 1.5 billion from Disney. So, and I don't see how Marvel goes and gives the keys to the comic book store to VeVe, and doesn't allow this type of, like, I don't think there's any way that, if anything, I think Marvel and Disney would try to be like, hey, here's my 2 puppets, now kiss. Like, I don't.
That analogy is freaking hilarious. I love it.
See, this is what AI can't do. AI
Yet.
One day I'll be completely useless. But for right now, pop culture reference for the one.
I'm looking forward to creating like a AI version of me, right? That could pump out content like every single day while I'm off in Greece, with a sailboat exploring all the islands there for 3 months.
That's gonna be crazy. Crazy time.
I'd give that about 3 or 4 years. Seriously.
Yeah. I'll spend a year training it and to think like I do, and suggesting trades for me, though I don't know that I just hand over like trading advice to, or trading capabilities to the AI, because when it goes to take over the world, the first thing it's going to do is dump all my tokens and crash my account.
And then go on vacation using your money.
Yeah, and then it goes on vacation.
Yeah.
Signs me up for slave labor sold to someone in Africa to go work there.
There's I don't know if you guys saw the demos or the little teaser videos of Carnage and Venom. Did you guys see that?
Yeah.
I think VeVe needs to make a small 30-second video on how you qualify to get them, because I even forget, there are 2 paths. You can venomize these 4, or you can venomize these 4 to get either or you can venomize all 8. I venomized all of mine, so I'll be getting both, or I'll have the option to get both. They do look really good. I don't know how many of them they're going to be yet. I don't think we've gotten that article. But if they're super scarce, I'll totally get both.
Yeah, I've got 2 sets of all the venomized, so I'll be getting 2 of each.
Nice. Ooh, you going hard.
That's right, cool. I forgot you've got a pretty big VeVe account, right? Probably the biggest one on the panel here.
No, not bigger than Randy. No.
What's your level?
Well, I'm at just below Master, Diamond 1, right below Master.
No,
what level?
Level 55.
Ooh,
yeah,
nice.
that's pretty high. That's pretty high.
Yeah, I've been in VeVe since November 21.
I'm like level 38 or 39 or something.
Pump those numbers up.
Yeah, 10 million OMI in there always helps.
Those are rookie numbers. Yeah, I got 10 million OMI in there.
Yeah, I think I have like 20 million OMI in there. I'm at level 61, but just Diamond 1. So I'm not
Yeah, I'm Diamond 1.
I know when they made that change from like 3% down to 1%, I got kicked out of Master Collector and
that's
Diamond 1. I'm like, no, blast! I love that status, but I'm not willing to put like $20,000 more into VeVe Collectibles right now to change it. So,
yeah, I think I got about 700 collectibles. I think like 130 comics, and the rest of them there. But the thing I'm really got my fingers crossed on is the Marvel Mighties. I got over 300 of those. I'm master collector for the Mighties.
my man.
Panther though really cost us some mint, didn't it, Randy? That last Black Panther, that secret rare.
Oh, you got the last one?
No, I said that really cost us that secret rare Black Panther. Who was it? Low mint Nick.
I'm wrong.
Yeah.
I'm level 44. Level 44.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
Higher than I thought.
Yeah, the Black Panther one, luckily the first time ever I caught the bottom and I got it at like 198. And then it blew up. But yeah, I know people that were spending 600, 900, 1200 on it. Oof. I think it's up to like 900 again. I don't know. It's not loading for me. But
I was actually watching Dune 2 when the drop happened, and I think I knocked off 18 of them right away. And I thought, well, I better go check on this. And I went, and Black Panther was like 250, and I was like, I think it'll be all right. Well, by the time the movie got over, it was at 699, and I'm like, I got to grab it. I mean, this thing's going to go through the roof.
Yeah, 729 right now.
Normally, I wouldn't do that because it was so scarce.
There's I forget who just asked what happened to him. There's a theory, and
Bill.
I don't want to spread no misinformation here. So it's just a theory, a game theory. Sorry, it's a Matt Pat reference. The theory is that he had his wife like took him hostage and started selling everything. He sold all of his stormtroopers, selling all of his other stuff. He's just he's in like a misery situation where she has him like tied to the bed and he broke his ankles.
Oh no! It's like a movie.
Yeah, they deleted all his socials.
Where she tied him up to the bed. That Stephen King. No, I forgot what it was.
Such a great
Misery.
Yeah. Those movies are crazy. All right,
Like
have you guys
the
seen
penguin
June?
always faces north or something, right? Was her clue that he had tried to escape?
June's sort of like it's very similar to Star Wars in many ways, but I'm pretty sure June is actually outdates Star Wars in terms of when it was written.
I
Both-
believe
Frank Herbert. Yeah, maybe.
I
It was
believe
written
you're right.
forever ago. I read all the books when I was a kid. So did Doctor of Stuff. He massively read all the books. His Xbox name back when we used to play Xbox together was Muad'Dib's Shadow from Dune.
Oh, that's so cool.
I think Dune came out in the 50s.
The book is from 1965,
Okay.
and let's just see Star Wars. I think Star Wars is later.
Well, 77 is when the movie came out.
Oh,
Dune
I mean,
really, they crushed it with those movies. Those movies were great. Although my wife hated the part where all of a sudden he's marrying the princess. My wife's like, no, what?
talking about
Find the books here.
who's marrying the princess?
In Dune 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the
Spoilers.
Muad'Dim.
No spoilers. Look at the books here. Try to find the original
I
Star Wars
made
books.
I heard the books were amazing and probably some of the best. sci-fi books.
1977. Randy, you're right. 1977. Star Wars.
I heard those books were like one of the best sci-fi books like ever. I can't do it.
So June outdates Star Wars by like 12 years. That's crazy.
Yeah,
'Cause
and
I
they
remember
made like 3 different versions of it, or maybe 4 now, because there was the Frank Herbert's Dune, and then there was like so that movie was okay. They changed a whole lot from the book. Then they had this like 2-week mini series that came out that was really cool. And I think they did one other Dune thing, and then they did the current series, which the current series just crushes all the other ones. The current movie, part 1 and part 2 that have come out so far.
wow, Low Mint Mick only has 20 collectibles left. And Sleeping Comics says the Dune books get really weird.
They do get really weird. Like,
Is it weirder than it?
That's funny.
Well, that's kind of a different genre right there.
But it gets weird.
They're not hiding in the sewers, Randy. I think they're hiding in some sand dunes.
I think last time we talked about June and Star Wars, someone was saying how June copied Star Wars, and then or someone mentioned that. And have you guys seen Grok? Grok did a really good. Do you guys know Grok, the Twitter?
Yeah.
Did a really, really good, funny, like satirical comment response to Star Wars copying June. It's like, yeah, Star Wars copied June if it if it basically ends up saying it ran it all and made it in the future.
I think the last time we talked about Star Wars, somebody bought an Obi-Wan Kenobi for like $4,500. It was like mint number 1977, so that's why.
Yeah, there's that one collector, and he goes after a lot of 1977 mints.
Clever Jerk or Tina and Rudy?
Not sure.
Clever Jerk sent me a photo this morning of all of his Boba Fett, the ultra rares. Has the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. There's literally like 20 of these things. And dude's just a beast.
I tell you what, I watched a really good movie the other day, The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. So it's how the MI6 came together for England. Ian Fleming, who wrote James Bond, plays one of the characters. Was part of this after he got out of World War II, and it also involves Nazis. So it's a really good movie. So it's Guy Ritchie's the one that directs it. So if you like Guy Ritchie stuff, it's really good.
I should watch it. I haven't seen it, but I should.
I thought the movie was exceptional.
Yeah.
They're all. So
I'll
speaking
let
of,
you guys know, I'll have to end the show a little early today because we're still in the middle of, we sold the house, but we still now need to clear out the house completely and move everything to the garage, and from the garage you move it all to storage. So I've still got some more work to do. I'll have to go a little bit early.
can you hire someone for that? That sounds backbreaking and not fun at all.
No, not really. I mean, you sort of can hire, but they don't know where all your stuff goes and what to throw out and what to keep. Right, you have to go through it all yourself manually.
Just chuck it in that room.
Plus, that's more money you could be using to buy crypto when it's cheap. So
That's
the
true. That is
cost
true.
of hiring that out right now is really expensive.
Yeah,
you
if
had
it's
that
up to
money
me, I'll
and-
just
and
throw
have
it all.
go 10x.
I'm one of those like I guess you could almost call me a minimalist. Like I would just be like throw it all out, everything out. I'm like throw it away. I don't care. No attachment. But my wife is more like sentimental value. Got to keep the things that we really like, and so she goes through it all. I'm just looking after the kids basically. But yeah, I'll have to go. Maybe we could go 10-15 minutes more. So just a little bit early.
Cool.
So other stuff to go over then. The digital aspect of the new drop called Handle with Care. It's Nick Walker. The secret rare has only 25 of them. And the first the first 5 of them are not available, so there's really only 20 of them. I don't remember the last time we had something this scarce. This will probably go for like $1,000 or $2,000. But we have a bunch of things with like 88 mints, like Gary Baseman's Aru and the golden dragon from Tokidoki, and that's like what $500 or $600 I think. But having only 20 mints or something. What are y'all thinking? How much could it go for?
Well, it's an artist piece, so it's going to be a lesser than IP.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen it? I mean, it's a hand grenade. What's a heart that looks like a hand grenade?
Yeah, I love it. It's got 4 of them to represent the 4 chambers of the heart. I was like, oh, that's cool. That's really dope.
300?
Oh, I would totally buy that secret rare for 300 because there's only 20 of them. I think that should be worth like half of them, but yeah,
the more the merrier.
that's true.
Oh, have you guys checked your portfolio today? Don't check. If you're in crypto, don't check your portfolio. It's not a day to check.
You know, I deleted, so I don't have my specific portfolio tracked anymore. I do have some of the tokens that I'm in, so I can check, because like as an investor, you're trying to stay unemotional. Try to stay unemotional when you see that value fluctuate. So
yeah, it's a rough day.
It does not help you stay unemotional when you're actually tracking it. It's really fun to track it when the market has a blow off top, but also it makes it really hard to sell because like you just get addicted to the dopamine that hits you every morning as you get up and get your phone. You'll find yourself waking up at 6 a.m., not even feeling tired, and you'll be checking your phone. You're like, oh my gosh, I'm up like another 7% today for the 10th day in a row, right? And you'll be like, oh my gosh.
I woke up at 4:30 last week and bought another 2 million of OMI on base in like 2 minutes, and then just went right back to bed. I was like, oh, 0.00045. Yeah, I'm gonna grab that.
Oh, that price.
Wow, that's juicy.
True.
Yeah, that's too juicy to this.
No.
Oh, and Randy, hey, I want to say congrats on the sponsorship for Definity.
Oh, well, thank you.
And of course, Sanjay, but that's a little old news too. So
yeah, it was what Sanjay's gotten me. The Definity one I've been working on for a while, but Sanjay's gotten me pretty much all the. I've only announced I think a couple collabs so far. I'll announce more this week. But I expected him to just chill back and just collect checks. But he's like, Randy, you should do this. Like, hey, I have this person on the line. You know, what do you think about it? I was like, oh, fudge, okay.
He's working. He's making you work for your bags.
Let's turn this machine on. Let's go.
Have you got a hard date for the prints?
The prints for prints.
Yeah.
It's going to be sometime in August, most likely. Because next month is really busy. I mean, I guess it could do it next month possibly, but it's likely going to be in August. I would love to do it as soon as possible. I would love to do it in a couple weeks, and then get him in the fund, get other people in India on the fund, and then hit the ground running. But
yeah, definitely.
Do you guys think this is possible? 1 more 0 on OMI? I don't think it's going to go any lower, but I've been wrong before.
Anything's possible.
Right now, it looks like
it is possible. It's got low probability, but it is possible.
I'm kind of seeing support about 0.00045, and top is about 5.5 right now.
I think we got to like 3.9 at one point, or 3.95, and then
I never saw
it
that.
bounced right back to, well,
that would have been quick. That would've been quick.
Not much, but it did bounce a little back in the fours.
Oh, that's crazy.
we had someone on Friday. We whipped up to 0.0059. I don't know who did that, but we had a large candle then that got sold down real quick. But yeah, so like every now and then someone just comes in and boom, Atem's got that crystal ball saying
Randy and I would absolutely love that.
Oh yeah,
we'll
me
go
too.
I was about to say, Randy, did you hit 200 yet, man? Did you hit 200 mil?
No, I'm at 190. I have
close.
When something comes in, it might be tomorrow, it might be in 3 weeks or 8. I don't know. I'll get a bunch. Like I'll pass 225.
Okay. So Sendex hit 0.0038. But
nice.
Sendex again, not a lot of liquidity down there.
But yeah, I'll have to get that, and the price could be, I don't know, 0.009 at that point, and I'll still do what I'm gonna do. But
do you guys know
yeah.
what this is? What's this class action lawsuit from movie producer? I have no idea what he's talking about.
I don't know what that's about.
I don't
Can't
know.
talk about it.
Big A, tell us more. We want to know.
We probably I'm just gonna delay now. I can't talk about that.
Yeah, well, guys, we got 300 people watching now. 300 people live.
Maybe it's the person that's making the VeVe documentary.
But Ron English just had a special come out on Amazon, and he mentioned VeVe in there a bit. So that was really cool. I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that on Twitter. That preview. It looks like something talked about his activism and kind of been a rebel his whole life and used art to do it.
Is Danny Boy a producer?
We should probably just not give that attention.
Yeah. Okay. Fair call. Fair call. Alrighty. Well, yeah. If you guys want to wrap it up in the next 5 minutes, so unfortunately, I've got heaps of stuff on today, but I still want to make this show happen, guys. I know you guys love it, and I want to give the people what they want. So I'm going to try and do this show every week I can. And
let's get this bread.
Let's smash it. Let's smash it. And you guys doing your OMI Homie show on Thursdays?
Wednesdays.
Wednesday. I said for me it's Thursday. Yeah. What time is that? Is it stick?
What time is it? New York time?
8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Eastern time.
Yeah, Eastern time.
Okay. And is it the same every week, or do you change it?
It's almost always the same, except when we have to bump it to Thursdays for just like scheduling issues.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Well, make sure you guys tune into that show as well. And yeah, really fun show today, guys. If you want to wrap it up, give your parting words to the people. Tell them what to do to chill out, to relax, enjoy the huddle. Cool, Mo. What do you have to say to the people?
That's pretty good words, Jordan. Enjoy the huddle. I mean, at this point, I'm just looking at getting, even grails. Like I bought a Gold Moments for $1,500. It was just too juicy a price. I mean, I had one that I bought at $35, but I remember on the day that partner statue came out, it was at 1,800 at one point, and I almost did it right then and there, and I backed off, and then it was gone. So when I see this thing at 1,500 just sitting there in a bear market, and I got my eye on a few other things, and really OGs kind of understand this. these prices are unbelievable. I mean, if you want to do something, now's the time, I think.
Preach. I would like to go over that Gary Baseman drop sold out. The Rambo poster drop sold out. And it's like, who gives a crap about posters? And it just, that scarcity really goes in and helps. And I think once the VeVeverse comes out and people get their own home space, posters will be a lot more coveted, just because people can not just decorate the small, what's it called, their vault with it. They'll be able to do that. A lot of artwork coming out talking about Dragon Ball Z. So I think speculation.
Don't tell me Dragon Ball Z.
Speculation slowly coming back. So I don't think things seem to be turning around a bit. The scarce drops have come back. That's really nice. Things are selling out, and once that narrative hits, we'll all be sitting in the sun. Feel really nice.
Awesome.
I remember when I was new in crypto, and it was 2017, and things were going crazy. And I'd look at the charts, and I'd look to the left when prices were really cheap, and I'm like, why didn't everyone pick up then? Now, at that point, you could look historically back and know that prices are way, 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 way higher than they are. But the truth is, most people haven't rewired themselves to buy at lows. It's hard to do that. It's hard to have the courage to do that. And you don't just want to buy anything at lows. You want to buy targeted projects at lows. You want to buy ones that are alive and functioning and doing well, and using research to determine what's really alive. Because the truth is, whenever prices are way down on whatever token, if you just put out in the general crypto space, is this project alive? Like 80% of the people respond that project's totally dead, and they're totally wrong on that. Why? Because most of the crypto space aren't like solid, educated crypto investors. They're just in the crypto space, and they don't even know what they're doing yet, but they definitely have an opinion. So that's where like learning to research comes in, so that you're buying things when they're really, really cheap, when everyone else is running away because it feels like the building's on fire. And then when it's going crazy, when all the general population starts buying high, well, then you're selling into that. So we're in one of those moments that you will later look back and you'll be like, oh my gosh, prices were so cheap. Why didn't I scoop up more? Well, because you were here and you were scared. And that's okay. If you don't scoop up more of these prices, just kind of note that and know what it feels like when it is time to buy. Because the goal is like, are you going to get all your decisions right if this is your first bigger cycle? No. But if you learn from that by being like, oh gosh, when I was super scared, that was actually the time to buy, then the next time around, you'll be prepared to do that. Also, many of you will probably feel the FOMO later on as things go crazy. And I will tell you now, that is not the time to buy. It'll be scary to not buy then, because everyone will be saying buy. And what you'll be doing is buying high, hoping it goes higher. And maybe it will for a little bit. And then suddenly it won't. And so that other step that most people get wrong, just kind of note that in your mind. Think, oh, Rain's probably wrong on that, but we'll see. And then when it plays out that way, you'll think, but now you're becoming a savage crypto investor. Why? Because you're learning faster than a lot of other people to recognize these patterns so that you can counter trade them. Why? I mean, why else are you here in crypto? Now, some people are just here for the collectibles, which is cool. And not even for the investment side of the collectibles, because I think the collectibles have a great chance to do well. But most people are here in the crypto space for life-changing gains, or for many life-changing gains. So smart decisions are really important for that.
Preach.
Awesome. I'm going to put the outro music.
What they say, it's the rise of the digital G. OMI token got the market bound, can't you see? With crypto, NFT, non-fungy fame on an Ecomi spree. I'm the buzz one, crypto in the blockchain, no mystery. Live, wow, can't ignore the stats. I'm repping on this, yet I chuckle cause I'm betting on this.
Hey, Jordan.
It's the rise of the digital kings. Value surging while my wallet sings. They call me OMI, that's the play. NFTs jumping day to day. Look at the charts. The sky's the limit. I'm invested in it, and I'm going to win it. Got that digital gold rush. It's the bomb, but remember, play a coin, make a wish. This is not financial advice.